Hello, everyone, and welcome to the class. In this session, we will focus on English verb tenses. This will be an introductory class, but it will benefit you in terms of the TOEFL, IELTS, or other international tests of English like SALPEP, especially for writing section and for the speaking section. So if you watch this video lesson, you will learn all the basics and the basic idea of English verb tenses. And I assure you that after this class, you will be able to use the verb tenses appropriately and correctly grammar-wise. So let's begin. So we will first focus on the verb tenses in terms of past or present or future sense. Let's see. Let's begin with the verb to be in English. So as you know, to be can be used in 3 different forms. And these forms are present, past, and future. So let's check the present form. So as you know, the present form is am, is, are. And the past form is, or past forms are was and were. And the future form is be. So now let's check each subject pronoun and how these, we call them helping verbs or auxiliary verbs. Helping verbs or auxiliary verbs. Like these are like am, is, are, or be, or was, were. These are called, again, auxiliary verbs or helping verbs. And these are subject pronouns. With the subject I, in the present form, we use am. With you, we use are. He is. She is. It is. We are. And they are. And with the past form, I was. You were. He was. She was. It was. We were. And they were. So when we say present form, we mean the present time, right now, at present, or something in general, something like a fact, or how you feel, or where you are right now, or something like that. So if you are talking about the present tense by using to be, you mean like something valid, something true at present. So again, this present is a little bit like general. It doesn't mean only like the present tense. It means like something valid right now, or something true right now, or something true in general. And when we say the past form, we are talking about the past, like 5 minutes ago, or like 2 days ago, or yesterday, or last year, or last summer, and so on and so forth. And as for the future form, we say will be, or we can use be going to future tense. So in this case, we can say am going to be, or is going to be, or are going to be. As you see in the future form, we don't change to be. We use it as it is, like be. But in the present form and in the past form, we don't use be as the verb be. Instead, we use the present forms, am, is, are, or the past forms, was or were. But when it comes to future tense usage, we use be as it appears, will be, or be going to be, like am, is, are going to be. So let's move on. So I know now you may say, this is very simple, this is very basic. Yes, it is very simple and it's something basic, but it's the challenge time. Let's see if it is that simple or not. So are you ready to take up the challenge? Here we go. At this point of the video, I want you to pause it and check those sample sentences. And in each sentence, I want you to pay attention to the subject of the verb and the object of the verb. And then decide the verb tenses, which verb tense or verb tenses you should use. For this one, you need to check the time expressions in the sentence or other clues like time expressions in the sentence. We will check all of them. So let's begin. So at this point, again, please pause the video and try to answer those questions, and then come back and resume the video and check your answers. The first one, my siblings in Turkey now. Actually, they have recently immigrated to Greece. So here, my siblings, the word sibling means brother or sister. So in this case, my siblings, plural, like they, it says now. So you need to focus on my siblings, the subject, plural, they. And it says have recently immigrated to Greece. So since they have recently immigrated to Greece, so are they in Turkey now or they are not in Turkey now? And now is another keyword here in terms of the verb tense usage. It means it is present and it is negative right here because the next sentence says they are not in Turkey any longer. They have recently immigrated to Greece. So my siblings are not in Turkey now. Okay, let's move on. Nadal and I. So what is the subject here? Nadal and I. So it means we. Nadal and I. So it means we. Born in Spain. So if you are talking about where you were born, you need to use the past form of to be. So here the subject is we. That's why you should say were born in Spain. So the verb born requires passive form and requires the past tense usage. Always or almost always. Many of my old classmates, here old is the keyword, very talkative. So it means it's talking about the past. So, and it's plural. Many of my classmates, so they, and it's about past. So past form of to be, they, with the subject they were very talkative, but my new classmates in my new school, this new school, new is the keyword here, it's talking about the present tense. So it should be are quite the opposite. And talking about the same subject, my new classmates. So they are very reticent. Reticent is the opposite of talkative. If a person is reticent, that person is silent. That person doesn't like talking about his or her privacy or his or her life. Doesn't want to share much about his or her life. So like kind of silent person. Okay, the next one. Your sister at her office now. So your sister, like she, and now present. So what form of to be you use with the present form with the subject pronoun she. Okay, here we go. It's a question. Is your sister at office or at her office now? The next one, number 5. Both my parents will home on Christmas night this year. So will it be positive or negative? It's talking about this year. And simple feature, will. Because they have recently gone on vacation. So now they are not here. So they have recently gone on vacation, like is the case in question number 1. And will back until the mid-January next year. So again, the second part of the sentence is simple feature. Let's check the first part. Both my parents will not be home on Christmas night this year. So we say Christmas night. Since we say Christmas night, we use on. But if you just use Christmas, you need to say at Christmas. So just Christmas, we use the preposition at before it, at Christmas. Here it says Christmas night. That's why we say on Christmas night. And then the next part of the sentence, because they have recently gone on vacation and will until the mid-January next year. So will not be back until the mid-January next year. Moving on, number 6, the books on my desk again. So it says again is an important word here, like there's kind of complaint here. Let's check the next sentence. I think my mother put all of them on the bookshelf in the living room. So this means the books, plural, they, the books, plural. So the subject pronoun is they. And it's talking about present time now, because someone is talking and saying that the books, okay, again, here we go, are not on my desk again. The books are not on my desk again. And in the second sentence, it explains why the first part should be negative. Because this person thinks my mother put all of them on the bookshelf in the living room. Number 7, Chinese grammar, very difficult. So the subject pronoun is Chinese grammar. So it is singular. So it's asking something about a general fact. It's talking about Chinese grammar in general, right? So that's why we should use the present form. So the subject is Chinese grammar. In other words, the subject pronoun is et. So we should use is Chinese grammar. Is, et, very difficult. And the next one, I write. So here, this person is asking a question. So I write. So with the subject I, so it means that it is present because there is no past time expression here, or there is no word or phrase suggesting the past tense. That's why it should be present. So in the present form with the subject I, we use am. Am I right? Am I right? Number 9, my dog is going to excited when it sees its previous owner. So here, the subject is my dog, and it's talking about the future tense, is going to. So that's why we should use be excited. It's going to be excited when it sees its previous owner. Previous means past owner or former owner. So number 10, the last one, I will blah, blah, 50 next month. So it's hardly a flash in the pan. So here we have simple future will next month. So will be 50. So here like 50 years old. I will be 50 next month. So it's hardly a flash in the pan. So we will check those vocabulary words now. The meaning of reticent here, it means unwilling, like not wanting, or uneager to speak about your thoughts or feelings. And a flash in the pan is an idiom, and it means it may mean two things. The first one, something that is interesting for only a short time, like something popular for a short time. Or the second meaning, an effort or person that promises great success but fails. So in this case, this person is like 50 years old, but this person thinks that time passed very fast. So now it feels like it's only a short time, not like 50 years. This is how this person feels. So I hope everything is clear until this point. Let's move on. Here is the summary of English verb tenses. So I will focus on them in two ways, in two categories. The first one will be present, and the second one will be past. Let's start with the present forms. So when I say the present tenses, I mean simple present tense. And this is how we can use the verb walk in simple present tense. With the subject I, we just use verb 1, the present form, I walk. And when the subject is you, we say you walk. And with the subject pronouns he, she, and it, we add an s at the end of the verb, the present form. He walks, she walks, it walks. We walk. Again, no s at the end. When the subject is we, they, I, or you, no s at the end. We just use the present form of the verb. But if the subject is he, she, or it, we use the verb 1, the present form of the verb, and then we add an s at the end. So that's all about simple present tense. What else comes to your mind? Which verb tense or verb tenses come to your mind when we say present tenses? Present continuous tense. Present continuous tense. As you can notice, when we say simple present tense, we already include the name present in the title, right? Simple present tense. So the second one, like again, present continuous tense. In some grammar books, they also call it present progressive tense. And this is the form for present continuous tense. I am walking. You are walking. He is walking. She is walking. It is walking. We are walking. They are walking. And the next one, simple future tense. So here, when we say simple future tense, we use the helping verb or the auxiliary verb will in this case. And then verb one, the present form, will walk. You will walk. I will walk. He, she, or it will walk. In all forms, we use the same auxiliary verb, will, with all subjects, and then verb one, the present form. Walk, walk, walk. That's it. So simple. We will walk. They will walk. So this is simple future tense. And the next one, present perfect tense. Although present perfect tense has something to do with the past, we still consider it as a present tense because it has some connection to the present time. It has some connection even with the future. So that's why we call it present perfect tense. And the name also suggests that it is a present tense. So don't feel confused because in our future tenses, when it comes to writing or speaking instruction writing or speaking sections of the international test of English like IELTS, TOEFL, or SIKLIKLA, I will focus on this. So you need to remember this. Present perfect tense. I, with the subjects I, you, we, they, we use have. With the subjects he, she, it, we use has. And then we use the past participle of the form. So past participle means verb 3. Have walked. I have walked. You have walked. He has walked. She has walked. It has walked. We have walked. They have walked. Okay, I, you, we, they have verb 3. He, she, it has verb 3. Present perfect continuous tense. In present perfect continuous tense, again, this time we have present perfect plus continuous tense. So the structure is different this time. We have been or has been verb ing. So please be careful. Here we use the past participle form of the verb be. Been with all subjects. Have been or has been. I have been, you have been, we have been, they have been. But he, she, it has been. And then we use verb 1 plus ing, walking. I have been walking. You have been walking. He has been walking. She has been walking. It has been walking. We have been walking. They have been walking. So the next one and the last one for this category, the present tenses, we have be going to future tense. Here our structure is be going to, and instead of be, we use the present form. Am, is, are. So, and then we add going to. This going to does not mean the verb go, like go to somewhere. Sorry, go somewhere or go to a place. No, it doesn't mean that. Here, going to is like will. So it's just a grammar structure. It seems like the same word as the verb go, but it's not the verb go here. So please remember it. I know it sounds confusing, but you should remember, you should note that this going to does not mean that action going somewhere. No. Or the opposite of come. No. This is just a grammar structure. So let's check it. I am going to walk. And after be going to, we use verb 1 only. You are going to walk. He is going to walk. She is going to walk. It is going to walk. We are going to walk. And they are going to walk. So here again, in this tense, like be going to future tense, we use the present form of the verb, walk. So all these verb tenses on my screen are under the category of present tenses in English. So if someone says to you like, oh, you need to use only present tenses in this essay. You need to use only present tenses in this paragraph. It says tenses. So present tenses here refer to all these verb tenses here. Simple present, present perfect, present continuous, present perfect continuous, simple future, and we go into future tense. Okay, now let's check the past tenses. Here we go. We have simple past tense. So when we say simple past tense, what should come to your mind? Something completed in the past. So here we use verb to. So the second form, the past form of the verb. So with all subjects, we say, I walked, you walked. And the last ed is pronounced like t here. Walked, you walked. He, she, it walked. Again, he walked, she walked, it walked, we walked, they walked. And the next one is past continuous tense. Again, you see the name, the title of the verb tense includes the word past. That's why these are in the past tense category, not present. So in past continuous tense, we have was, were. With the subject I, we have was, you were, he, she, it was, we and they were, plus verb ing. So plus ing. Let's see it. Like I was walking, you were walking, he was walking, she was walking, it was walking, we were walking, they were walking. So in these examples, as you see, we use the present form of the verb, verb one, plus ing. So was walking, were walking, as you see. The next one, past perfect tense, not present, past perfect. Again, the name of the tense includes the word past. So that's why it is under the category of past. In this case, we have had plus verb 3, past participle. We call verb 3 as past participle. So here, with all subjects or subject pronouns, we have the auxiliary verb, the helping verb had. I had walked. You had walked. He had walked. She had walked. It had walked. We had walked. They had walked. In past perfect continuous tense, we say had been verb ing. Again, the name includes past. Past perfect continuous. So we have had, and then we have been, and then the verb is in the present form and ing. So please be careful. Again, we have had, and then been, and then verb one, present form of the verb, and then ing. So the structure is, I had been walking. Again, with all subjects, we use had. You had been walking. He had been walking. She had been walking. It had been walking. We had been walking. They had been walking. So again, on my screen right now, you see only the past tenses. So again, when your teacher says in an IELTS class or in a TOEFL class or a SIKLIKLA class or other international tests of English, or when you receive some feedback for your writing or speaking, you should note that if the teacher says you should use only past tenses here, you shouldn't mix past and present tenses in the same sentence or in the same paragraph or even in the same essay. So in that case, you should remember those tenses when in terms of the past tenses in English or in terms of this category of past tenses. Again, tenses, plural, not one tense. So simple past tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, and past perfect continuous tense are all included under the category of past tenses in English. So again, challenge time. It feels like I hear some of you are saying, oh, this is very simple. This is very easy. We know all these things. Yes, like when it comes to theory, it seems easy. But when it comes to practice, it may be challenging. So are you ready to take up the challenge now? Okay, let's move on. Please grab a piece of paper, a pen or pencil, and pause the video at this point and complete those sentences. You will use the verb write in each sentence, as you see in the instruction on top of the screen. Please fill in the blanks using the correct form of the verb write. So in all these sentences from number 1 to number 8, you will use the same verb, write. But you need to pay attention to the verb tenses. And you can use simple past, present perfect, simple present, past continuous, present continuous, simple future or be going to future, or present perfect continuous, or past continuous tense. And in brackets, like in parentheses, I gave you the formula as well for each verb tense. So you can see them just to remember the structures. So again, please pause the video and do them, and then resume the video and be back. And now I will start answering those questions, and please watch them. And in this way, I hope you will understand them better. Here we go. The first one. Now, so this is the time expression. So it means like it's talking about the present time. This email to please you. Please means a verb here. Please is an action here. It means to make someone happy, to make someone satisfied. So now I am writing. I am writing. So this means present continuous tense. At this point, at the point of speaking, at the time of speaking, I am writing the email. That's why with now we use present continuous tense. Am writing. The second one, an email to my parents at least once a week. So here, once a week is a time expression. It suggests that it's a repeated action. It's kind of habit. So this means it happens regularly. One time a week. Once means one time. One time every week. So this means once a week. So this means one time every week. So this is simple present tense. So what you should write here? I write an email. I write an email to my parents at least once a week. Simple present tense. Number 3, and then we have just. So just is a time expression here. A letter to my elder brother to apologize. So I made a mistake. I offended my elder brother. So now I'm saying that I just completed something. So here we need to use present perfect tense. I have just written a letter to my elder brother to apologize. I have just written a letter to my elder brother to apologize. I have just written a letter to my elder brother to apologize. Here, some of you may have written, I just wrote, past tense. It's also acceptable in everyday English. So especially in American English, you can also use past tense here. But because of the word just, present perfect is a better fit into this context. Number 4, an email for exactly 2 hours. I will send it soon. Here, the next sentence suggests that writing an email is not completed yet. It is still in progress. And this person started to write this letter 2 hours ago. So still writing it because it says, I will send it soon. It's not completed yet. That's why the action started in the past and went on for some time, and it is still in progress. In this case, we use present perfect continuous tense. I have been writing. I have been writing an email for exactly 2 hours, and I will send it soon. The next one, tomorrow, is about future. Another email to the company to ask for a refund. Refund means when you pay for a product or service, when you make payment for a product or service, and if you don't like it, you return it to the company and you ask them to send your money back, to give your money back. It is called refund. Refund can be a noun or verb. So here it's a noun. So tomorrow, it's about future. I will write another email to the company to ask for a refund. Or tomorrow, I am going to write another email to the company to ask for a refund. So the first one is simple future, will write. The second one is be going to future. Am going to write. The next one, number 6, yesterday, an email to my manager to apologize. So in this context, we have the time expression yesterday. So it means it's a completed action in the past. Yesterday, I wrote an email to my manager to apologize. The next one, an email when you called me last night. An email when you called me last night. So it's talking about last night, and we have the adverbial clause of time. When you called me last night. So there are two actions here. So when you called me, your action interrupted my action last night. So this means I was doing something and something else happened, and that action, the second action, interrupted my action. So I had to stop. I had to take a break to give my attention to the second action. So here, the second part, the when part, is in the past form. So the main clause, the main sentence, the beginning of the sentence should be in the past form as well. But here it suggests that something was in action. So I was writing an email when you called me last night. So you called me and I took your call and I stopped writing my email. I took a break. So you interrupted my action of writing an email. And I talked to you and then I hung up and then I went back to my email and maybe I completed my email, right? So I was writing an email when you called me last night. Past continuous tense. And the last one, I from university, before I moved to Canada in 2016. Before I moved to Canada in 2016. So I from university. I had graduated from university. I had graduated from university before I moved to Canada in 2016. So here, you mean that there are two actions. But these two actions were completed in the past. So what are those actions? Moving to Canada and graduating from university. They are both completed. They are both in the past. Which action happened first? Moving to Canada or graduating? So here, before suggests that the before part happened later. So the main clause, the first sentence happened earlier. So I had graduated from university before I moved to Canada in 2016. Now, some of you may ask me, like, John, can I use here simple past tense instead of past perfect tense? Yes. Instead of had graduated, you can also use just graduated in the sentence, because the word before already informs the reader or listener which action happened first. So before part always refers to the second action completed in the past. But the main action, the main verb of the main clause in the main sentence implies the first completed action in the past. So first, I graduated from university, maybe in 2015, maybe in 2014, maybe in 2013. And then I moved to Canada in 2016. Again, they are both completed. They are both in the past. But which part was completed before? First, the beginning of the sentence, had graduated. So, again, I hope everything is clear so far. If you think you understood the overall idea of the verb tenses in English, present and past, then you are good to go. I'm sure you won't have serious issues with your grammar in your writing or speaking. So, do you have any questions? If you have, please feel free to reach out to me whenever you want. So that's all. Thanks for listening to the lesson passionately and attentively. And I will see you in the next class. Thank you so much.